Welcome to Zoe Stories. She said, be a man. So, I became a better woman. The room felt smaller than usual that evening. Shadows pooled in the corners, and the faint hum of my laptop was the only sound breaking the oppressive silence. I was 18, a boy who had perfected the art of being invisible, an observer, a ghost in the crowded hallways of college. I liked it that way. It kept me safe. But safety is an illusion. Elena leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, her posture casual but undeniably commanding. She was everything I wasn't. Confident, commanding, beautiful in a way that made people stop mid-step. You know, she said, voice low but cutting, you're soft. Too soft. And the world doesn't reward softness, does it? I swallowed hard. I guess not. Not guessing, she said sharply.
Seeing.
You hide behind baggy clothes, avoid eye contact, never speak your mind. You don't even walk like a man. You tiptoe through life like it's a dream you're too afraid to wake up from. Her words, sharp and unrelenting, sank into me like ice water. And then, unexpectedly, they sparked something else. Curiosity, a tremor of excitement I didn't understand. You're going to change that, she declared. And I'm going to help. Her help came wrapped in coercion. I didn't fully understand what she meant until she held out a pair of tight leggings, a silky blouse that shimmered under the lamplight. Try these on, she said, eyes glinting with challenge. You'll see yourself the way the world should see you. My stomach nodded. My mind screamed protest. I wanted to refuse, to run, to lock myself back into my safe cocoon. But her gaze, commanding, unyielding, froze me. Somehow, against every instinct, I obeyed. The leggings slid over my legs like a second skin. My fingers trembled as I tugged the blouse over my head, feeling the unfamiliar softness cling to my body. I stood before the mirror, heart hammering, eyes wide. The reflection staring back at me was both me and not me, softer, smaller, delicate in ways I had never allowed myself to imagine. Elena circled me like a predator inspecting her prey. Look at you, she murmured, a faint smirk tugging at her lips. So pretty. Better than I imagined. I wanted to shrink away, to tell her it was wrong. Instead, I felt an odd, unwelcome heat of arousal, shame prickling at the edges of my mind. My body reacted even as my mind screamed rebellion. Now walk, she commanded, stepping back. I took tentative steps, each one a battle. The leggings hugged my thighs, the blouse brushed against my chest, and my every movement felt exposed. She watched with intensity, correcting the tilt of my hips, the arch of my back, the way I carried my hands. You see, she said, voice soft but sharp. You can be beautiful. You just have to let go of him. Him. I whispered under my breath, feeling my old self fragmenting. And that was just the beginning. Over the next days, Elena pushed me further. Makeup lessons, lipstick, mascara, foundation. Each swipe of a brush both humiliated and fascinated me. She dressed me in skirts, lingerie, tight dresses that made my pulse pound with shame and secret thrill. Public outings were the most intense. A walk in the crowded mall, the whispered stares, the subtle smirks. Every glance chipped away at my male privileges, my identity, until I began to forget who I had been. And yet, amidst the humiliation, a dangerous pleasure flickered. She would call me beautiful in a soft voice, her fingers brushing my cheek as she adjusted my hair. My heart raced. My mind struggled against the conflicting emotions, shame, desire, fear, and a perverse curiosity about the girl I was becoming. At night, I would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling both violated and alive. I barely recognized myself in the mirror anymore, and part of me was beginning to wonder if I even wanted to. The chapter closes on the first public outing that almost broke me completely, a small boutique opening where I was made to walk in heels and a short skirt. The crowd's subtle stares, the soft laughter behind me, Elena's approving gaze, it all combined into a single crushing wave. I felt my old self slip further away. Her words echoed in my mind. You're better this way. You just have to let go. And with that, I realized there was no turning back. A familiar face from my past, a childhood friend, noticed me in the crowd. Recognition sparked in their eyes, and a sudden, dangerous question hung in the air. Is that you? The next morning, I woke with the memory of yesterday's humiliation and secret thrill burning behind my eyes. My body ached in places I hadn't noticed before, hips slightly sore from the way Elena had forced me to walk, shoulders stiff from the posture corrections, fingers trembling at the thought of picking up another brush. She was already in the kitchen when I walked in, dressed casually but radiating the kind of dominance I couldn't ignore. "Good morning, beautiful," she said, smirking. Her words made my stomach twist with both embarrassment and a strange thrill. "Hi, good morning," I muttered, keeping my gaze down. "You're learning," she replied, sliding a small box across the table toward me. Inside were brushes, eyeliner, and the first real makeup kit I had ever owned. "Today, we start properly. You won't just wear pretty clothes. You'll be pretty. Every line, every angle, every movement has to convince the world." I swallowed hard, a tight knot forming in my throat. I didn't want this. My mind screamed against it. And yet, I obeyed, taking the brushes in trembling hands. The first hour was chaos. Foundation smeared, eyeliner crooked, lipstick streaked. I hated every second, yet with each brush stroke, I caught glimpses of a new face staring back at me from the mirror, softer, smaller, delicate. Elena hovered behind me, correcting every mistake, her fingers brushing against my skin in ways that made my cheeks burn. "You're resisting," she said softly. "That's why it's not perfect. You have to let go. Accept it. Or you'll always be half a boy, never a woman." Half a boy. The words echoed inside me, stinging sharper than any criticism I had ever received. And somewhere, deep down, I wondered, could I actually be a woman? She guided me into my first full outfit, a short, flowing skirt paired with a fitted blouse. The way the fabric clung to my body, accentuating curves I didn't know I had, made my pulse race. She handed me a pair of heels. "Walk," she commanded. The first steps were humiliating. My legs wobbled, my balance betrayed me, and the sound of my own heels clicking against the floor felt deafening. Elena circled me, adjusting my hips, my posture, my chin. "Yes, just like that," she murmured. "You're learning fast." I wanted to hide, to run, but her eyes held me captive. Her approval became addictive, her dominance intoxicating. By the time we left the house, I was a different person, or at least, a person I barely recognized. Outside, the world was merciless. Strangers' eyes lingered longer than comfortable, whispers and soft laughter brushing against my skin like cold wind. Every stare was a test, every comment a challenge. I felt my old self shrinking, fading into the background. Elena's hand on my waist kept me grounded, and her soft voice whispered, "You're beautiful. Let them see it." Humiliation blended with arousal, shame mixed with curiosity, and every step in public tore away another layer of my old identity. By the afternoon, we arrived at a small cafe. Elena insisted I order alone, forcing me to speak, to smile, to act confident. My voice trembled, faltered again. But each time I looked at her, her calm, commanding gaze told me, "Keep going, or you'll never become her." I realized then that this was no longer about clothing or makeup. It was about control. She controlled my actions, my appearance, my very essence. And against my better judgment, I found myself responding to it, craving her approval even as I resented her. The day ended with another mirror session at home. She sat behind me, brushing my hair, her hands warm, deliberate. "Look at yourself," she said softly. I turned slowly, studying the reflection. The boy I had been seemed distant, almost unreal. The girl staring back was tentative, nervous, yes, but undeniably beautiful. "Tomorrow," Elena whispered, "we'll go somewhere bigger. You'll see what it means to really be seen." And as I lay in bed that night, exhausted and exhilarated, I knew I couldn't go back. Each day, each step, Each brush stroke was pulling me further from the boy I had been, and closer to the woman she wanted me to become. A text arrived on my phone late that night, a photo from college. Someone had spotted me in the outfit. They didn't know it was me. Or did they? The morning sunlight pierced my room like a spotlight, highlighting every flaw I imagined in the reflection staring back at me. My legs, still sore from yesterday's heels, seemed too long, too delicate, too wrong. My heart thudded in my chest. Today, Elena said, would be different. Today, she declared, leaning casually against my doorframe, you'll step outside this house in front of real people. No safe corners, no hidden eyes. Just you, as you are. I froze. The word sounded like a sentence, not a challenge. My chest tightened, breath coming fast. I don't know if I can, I whispered, though a part of me, a darker, thrill-seeking part, wondered what it might feel like to be seen. Elena's smile was soft but lethal. You can, she said. And you will. Trust me. She guided me to the car, her hand pressing lightly against the small of my back, keeping me upright. I wore a short, pastel dress that clung to my curves, the fabric soft against my skin, the skirt brushing the tops of my thighs. Heels clicked against the floor, drawing attention with every step. My reflection in the rearview mirror made me flinch. I looked nothing like the boy I had been. The mall was a world I had never wanted to enter like this. It buzzed with life, laughter, chatter, music. And in that world, I was painfully visible. Remember, Elena whispered, adjusting my hair. You're beautiful. Own it. I tried. I really did. Every step was a tightrope walk between embarrassment and compliance. Eyes followed me, some curious, some approving, some mocking. Whispers brushed against my ears. I felt my face flame, heat rising to my chest. My legs wobbled, hips shifting awkwardly, but Elena's hand on my waist steadied me. A group of teenage girls giggled as we passed. One whispered something to the other. I wanted to shrink, to melt into the floor. But Elena smiled, whispering, they're admiring you. Let them. You earned this. I didn't feel like I had earned anything. I felt stripped, vulnerable, naked under their gazes. At the boutique she had chosen for the first test, she pushed me further. Try these on, she said, handing me a skimpy outfit. My pulse skyrocketed, hands trembling. I wanted to refuse. My voice caught. I can't. You can, she said softly, almost kindly. I'll be right here. Inside the changing room, she guided me step by step. Bras, panties, stockings, all foreign, all exposing parts of me I had never acknowledged. Every adjustment, every brush of her fingers against my skin sent shivers down my spine. Humiliation, shame, and an odd, guilty thrill mingled in my chest, making it impossible to separate embarrassment from desire. Stepping out into the boutique was the real test. Mirrors surrounded me, reflecting the delicate, soft curves of my body from every angle. Shoppers stopped, glanced, some stared. I felt exposed, naked under their eyes, my hands trembling, my face burning. You're beautiful, Elena murmured, brushing a stray lock of hair from my face. Do you feel it yet? I shook my head, and yet a tiny spark of pride, of excitement, fluttered inside me. Someone had called me pretty today. I had never imagined anyone saying that to me before, let alone meaning it. By the time we left the mall, my legs ached, my chest felt tight, and my mind was a whirlwind. The mixture of shame, embarrassment, and a strange, thrilling pride had left me dizzy. Elena smiled at me, eyes gleaming. You survived, she said. And you did well. Tomorrow, we push further. That night, alone in my room, I stared at the mirror. The girl staring back was no longer a stranger. She was me, or at least, part of me. And part of me, the part that had always been timid and invisible, was starting to enjoy the attention, the beauty, the control Elena held over me. A notification lit up my phone, a message from a friend I hadn't spoken to in years. I saw you today at the mall. Is that really you? The morning air was crisp, but it didn't ease the tight knot in my chest. I woke with a strange heaviness, a mix of dread and anticipation. Today, Elena promised would be different. I wasn't going to just be seen, I was going to perform. She stood in the doorway, radiant and commanding as always, holding a new outfit. A short, fitted dress, soft pastel pink with delicate lace trimming.
My stomach flipped when I saw it.
Today, she said, you'll go to the salon. People will watch. You will walk, sit, and speak like a real woman. I wanted to protest. My lips opened, closed, nothing came out. You will go, Elena said softly, almost cruelly. You can either resist and fail, or accept and grow. Your choice. I swallowed hard, heart racing. Resistance felt impossible against her calm dominance. The salon was alive with chatter, the hum of dryers, the click of heels against polished floors. My reflection in the glass walls was almost too much to bear. Every glance at my delicate form made my cheeks burn. Elena guided me to a chair, brushing a lock of hair behind my ear. You look good, she murmured. Beautiful. Own it. I shook my head, trembling. The words felt alien, impossible. And yet, I wanted to believe her. The stylist began her work, brushing, curling, applying makeup I had only just started to master. Each touch was electric, humiliating, and intoxicating. I wanted to hide, but Elena's hand on my waist kept me rooted. Look at yourself, she whispered. Really look.
Who do you want to be?
I looked. The girl in the mirror was undeniable. Soft lips, bright eyes, curves I had barely acknowledged. I felt a pang of loss for the boy I had been. And yet, a dangerous curiosity whispered. Maybe I could be her. A boy, around my age, walked into the salon. He glanced at me, then back at his friend, eyes lingering. I felt a strange connection, a flutter of hope and anxiety. Elena noticed, smirked, and leaned closer.
See? People see you now.
You're not invisible anymore. My chest tightened. Pride clashed with shame. My mind spun. I wanted to run. And yet, a part of me, the part Elena was shaping, thrived under the attention. By the time we left, I could barely walk straight. The world outside felt both terrifying and exhilarating. Strangers' eyes followed, whispered comments floated behind us. Every step, every glance, chipped away at the boy I had been. Elena's hand never left mine, her dominance both comforting and suffocating. That night, alone in my room, I stared at the mirror. I barely recognized myself. My body, my face, my voice, even in the reflection, all different. And yet, the part of me that had always wanted to hide felt pleased. My fingers traced the curve of my cheek, the line of my jaw, wondering how much of me I had truly lost. A soft knock at the door. Elena's voice. You've done well today, but tomorrow, I think it's time for you to be seen by everyone. The morning sun felt heavier than usual. My legs ached from yesterday's heels, and my chest felt tight, a mix of anxiety and anticipation swirling in my stomach. Today, Elena said I would face the crowd. Not just a few curious eyes, an entire public space, where whispers, stares, and judgment awaited. She appeared in the doorway, radiant, confident, and cruelly serene. Are you ready, beautiful? She asked, holding out a new outfit. It was a tight dress, sky blue, clinging to every curve. My stomach flipped. I don't know if I can, I whispered. You can, she said, almost a whisper, her eyes gleaming with dominance. And you will. If you falter, remember, I'm watching. And you never want to disappoint me. Her words both terrified and compelled me. The streets were alive with life. Families walking, couples laughing, teens gossiping. Every step I took in my heels was a tightrope walk between fear and compliance. Strangers' eyes lingered. Whispers brushed my ears. My face burned, heat rising in waves. Elena's hand on my waist kept me upright. Her voice in my ear. Look confident. Walk like you belong. You're beautiful. Let them see it. I tried. I stumbled, faltered, but her gentle corrections steadied me. Every misstep was a lesson, every stare a test. We entered a crowded cafe. Elena instructed me to order alone. My voice trembled, soft and uncertain. I'd like a latte, I managed. The barista looked at me strangely, then smiled politely. My hands shook as I held the cup. Elena's approving gaze was both comforting and humiliating. You did well, she whispered. But this is just the beginning. Public exposure is the crucible. You will either break or bloom. As we walked out, a group of college students recognized me. Whispers, laughter, double takes. My cheeks flamed. I wanted to run, hide, disappear. And yet, Elena's hand on my back pushed me forward. You're beautiful, she murmured. See how they react. This is power.
You have it now.
Embrace it. I couldn't. I wanted to. I hated her. I craved her. I felt shame, desire, and excitement all at once, a tangled, impossible knot of emotion. By evening, exhausted and humiliated, I sat in front of the mirror. The girl staring back was undeniably me, yet not the boy I had been. Elena brushed my hair, her touch both soothing and commanding. Tomorrow, she said softly, you'll meet someone who will see you differently. Someone your age, who will awaken a part of you didn't know existed. I received a message on my phone. I saw you today, you're not the boy I knew. Are you okay? The morning light fell softly across my room, but it did little to calm the storm in my chest. After yesterday's public exposure, I felt raw, exposed in ways I hadn't imagined possible. Every glance, every whisper haunted me. Elena appeared in the doorway, radiant as always, holding a new outfit. This one was a delicate, mint green dress with lace trimming, paired with subtle heels. Today, she said, her eyes glinting with mischief, you'll meet someone your age. Someone who doesn't just see you, he'll notice you. My stomach flipped. My voice trembled. I don't want to. You will, she said softly, commanding. You're ready. Don't disappoint me. The cafe was crowded, the air filled with chatter and the smell of coffee. I sat at a corner table, nervously fiddling with the hem of my dress. That's when he walked in, a boy, around my age, tall, confident, with a warm smile. He glanced around, then his eyes landed on me. Recognition sparked in his gaze. A strange warmth filled me, a flutter I hadn't felt before. I felt exposed, nervous, and strangely exhilarated all at once. Elena's hand rested lightly on my shoulder. Go on, she whispered.
Talk to him.
Smile. Be her. I opened my mouth, voice shaking. H.I.M. He smiled warmly, interrupting my awkwardness. Hey, you're new here, right? I haven't seen you around before. Something in the way he looked at me, curious, kind, unjudging, made my chest tighten. My mind spun. Shame, fear, and a forbidden thrill tangled together. Elena's presence behind me, guiding, watching, controlling, made it even more intense. She pushed me gently to smile, adjust my posture, brush a stray lock of hair from my cheek. See, she whispered. You're beautiful.
He can see it.
Let yourself enjoy it. I wanted to resist. I wanted to hide. But part of me, fragile, curious, longing, thrived under the attention. His gaze made me feel seen, noticed, appreciated in ways I had never experienced as a boy. After a long conversation, I walked home with Elena. My legs ached, my chest felt tight, but my mind was alive with conflicting emotions. The boy had made me feel something. Something dangerous. Excitement?
Desire?
Connection? Elena's hands were firm on my shoulders as she adjusted my hair. Tomorrow, she murmured, we push further. Public exposure. Deeper control. More transformation. You're becoming her completely. That night, alone in my room, I stared into the mirror. The girl staring back was undeniably me, yet I could feel the boy I had been fading. I traced my lips, the curve of my cheek, wondering how much I had already changed. A text appeared on my phone. Can we meet? I need to talk to you about today. The evening air was cool, brushing against my skin as I nervously fidgeted with the hem of my dress. Elena had insisted I meet him alone this time. Just me, the boy, and the weight of her subtle manipulation echoing in my mind. "You're ready," she whispered as she adjusted a lock of my hair, her touch lingering just long enough to make my cheeks burn. "Remember what I told you. Be confident, be beautiful. Let him see her, not the boy." I nodded, heart hammering. The dress she had chosen hugged my curves perfectly, soft fabric brushing against my thighs. My legs wobbled as I took the first step out the door. We met in a quiet park, the dim light of street lamps casting long shadows. He smiled when he saw me, eyes wide with surprise but warmth. "You look different," he said softly, voice full of curiosity, admiration, and a hint of something I couldn't name. I swallowed hard, cheeks flushing. Thanks," I murmured. My voice felt strange, softer, higher, unfamiliar. Elena's words echoed in my mind. "You're beautiful. Let yourself be seen." We walked slowly, talking about trivial things at first, school, music, movies, but every glance he gave me, every casual smile, made my chest tighten. I felt exposed, hyper-aware of my body, my dress, the way I moved, my voice. A sudden breeze lifted the hem of my skirt, and I froze. His eyes flicked down, and then back up, a quiet acknowledgement of my femininity. My face burned with embarrassment, a strange, confusing thrill coursing through me. Elena's lessons replayed in my mind, posture, walking, speaking softly but confidently. I tried to embody them, to be her. And yet, every time he laughed, complimented, or simply looked at me, I felt the boy inside me shrink, fading under the weight of the girl Elena was shaping me to be. At one point, he reached out to brush his stray hair from my face. My breath caught, and I realized I was trembling, not entirely from fear or embarrassment. There was a flicker of something dangerous, something exciting, something I couldn't name. "You're pretty," he said softly. The words hit me like a jolt. I had heard them before, from Elena, but now, coming from someone else, they made my heart race, cheeks flush, and mind whirl with a mix of shame and guilty pleasure. By the time we parted, my legs ached, my heart raced, and my mind was a chaotic storm. Elena's control had pushed me further than I ever imagined. Yet in a corner of my mind, a small, forbidden part of me enjoyed it. That night, Elena watched me in the mirror as I undressed, her eyes scanning my reflection with quiet satisfaction. "You're learning," she murmured. "Soon, no one will recognize the boy you were. And maybe you won't want them to." I received a late-night message from him. "I can't stop thinking about you, about her. Can we meet again?" The morning sunlight spilled through my curtains, painting stripes across the floor, but it did nothing to calm the storm inside me. My legs ached from the heels I had been wearing almost daily, my chest tight from nerves, my mind a chaotic mess of shame, curiosity, and a strange, forbidden excitement. Elena appeared in the doorway, radiating the calm authority I had learned to obey, holding out a new outfit. "It's time," she said, her voice soft but undeniably commanding. "Today we go out together, you and him. I want the world to see you exactly as I've been shaping you." My stomach flipped violently. I don't know if I can," I stammered. My voice cracked, a high, soft tone that betrayed how much I had already changed. "You can," she said, stepping closer. Her hand brushed my cheek, light but purposeful, and I felt a shiver run down my spine. "And you will. Stop hesitating. Stop hiding. This is who you are now, or at least who you're becoming." I nodded mutely, unable to speak, feeling my pulse hammering against my temples. The dress she had chosen hugged my body in ways I could hardly bear to look at, a soft, cream-colored fabric that accentuated every curve, paired with delicate heels that made each step feel precarious and painfully exposed. We met him outside the cafe, his eyes widening as he took me in. For a moment, I froze under his gaze. There was surprise, yes, but also admiration, curiosity, something that made my heart beat faster than it had in months. "You look amazing," he said, his tone soft and genuine. His smile, warm and easy, made me feel both exhilarated and unbearably self-conscious. Elena, standing slightly behind me, smirked faintly. Her presence was both protective and controlling, a constant reminder that I was still under her influence. "Remember," she whispered, brushing a stray lock of hair from my face, "you're beautiful. Don't let anyone, not even him, make you doubt it." As we walked through the crowded streets, every glance felt amplified. Whispers floated behind us. People stared openly, some in curiosity, some in admiration, some perhaps judging. My heels clicked loudly against the pavement, each step a reminder of how visible, how fragile I had become. He reached for my hand as we crossed a small square, and I froze. His fingers brushed mine, warm and grounding. My chest tightened, my face burned, and I felt an overwhelming mix of embarrassment and thrill. Elena's hand rested lightly on my other shoulder, steadying me, her eyes gleaming with subtle triumph. "You're doing wonderfully," she whispered. "Feel it. Let the attention wash over you. This is power, and it belongs to you even if you're afraid of it." I wanted to resist. I wanted to hide. But each approving glance, each whispered word, each tiny touch left me trembling. A strange, dangerous pleasure coursed through me, one I had been taught to deny yet could no longer ignore. Underscore 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 underscore. We stopped at a small boutique Elena had chosen, crowded with customers. "Try these on," she said, handing me a new dress. My fingers shook violently. The fabric was soft, delicate, intimate, and utterly exposing. My pulse raced as she guided me into the changing room. Bras, panties, stockings, every garment felt like a test. Every touch of her hands, gentle and yet controlling, made me burn with embarrassment and forbidden excitement. When I stepped out in front of the mirror, the reflection was overwhelming. A girl, soft, delicate, undeniably beautiful, looked back. Every glance from him, every subtle reaction from the crowd, made my cheeks flush, my heart pound. Elena's presence reminded me I was still under her influence, still a puppet in her carefully controlled world. "You see," she whispered. "They all see it. You're beautiful. You can't hide anymore." The rest of the day was a blur of exposure, whispered comments, stares, and constant tension. At one point, he leaned close, his voice low. "You're so different. So beautiful. I didn't expect this." The words pierced me. I felt shame, yes, but also a jolt of something more dangerous: pride, curiosity, desire. Elena's approval hung over me like a shadow, a reminder that she had orchestrated every moment, every outfit, every step I had taken to reach this point. By evening, we walked home, my legs aching, chest tight, and mind a chaotic swirl. Elena's hand remained firm on my back, guiding, controlling, steadying. "Tomorrow," she murmured, "we go further. You will see just how far you can push yourself, how far the world can push you without breaking." That night, alone in my room, I sat in front of the mirror, tracing the curve of my lips, the line of my cheek. The girl staring back was undeniably me. The boy I had been felt like a distant memory, fading with each day, each exposure, each whispered compliment. And yet, amidst the shame and confusion, a small, undeniable thrill remained. My phone buzzed again, a message from him, tinged with longing and curiosity. "I can't stop thinking about you, about her. Can we meet again?" The day began with a strange tension in my chest. I could feel it the moment I woke, an almost physical pull between the boy I had been and the girl Elena had been shaping me into. My reflection in the mirror startled me. The soft curve of my lips, the delicate arch of my eyebrows, the subtle glow of my skin, it all screamed her. Yet the memory of who I had been lingered like a shadow. Elena appeared in the doorway, flawless as always. She held a new outfit, a deep burgundy dress that hugged my curves and revealed just enough to be daring without vulgarity. "Today," she said, her voice both gentle and commanding, "you're going to learn the power of attraction and the weight of desire." My stomach flipped. I wanted to protest. My voice trembled. I don't know if I can." "You can," she said softly, brushing a hand along my cheek. "And you will. You are becoming someone irresistible. You just have to embrace it." When we arrived at the cafe to meet him, I felt a wave of nervous energy crash over me. His eyes lit up the moment he saw me, lingering longer than before. I felt my pulse spike, my legs wobble in heels I had grown accustomed to but still feared. Elena stood behind me, a quiet sentinel, watching and subtly guiding my posture, my expressions, my every movement. "You're beautiful," she whispered, almost cruelly, "and he knows it. Let yourself be seen. Don't hide anymore." We walked together to a quiet corner, conversation flowing at first about mundane things, music, books, classes. But soon the dynamic shifted. He leaned closer, his gaze intense yet warm. Every glance felt like a spark, igniting something I couldn't name. My chest tightened, my cheeks burned, and I felt both exhilarated and terrified. His hand brushed lightly against mine, a touch that sent shivers through me. My mind screamed, "This is wrong," yet my body betrayed me with a flutter of excitement. Elena's words echoed in my mind. "You are beautiful. You are desired. This is power." Later, Elena suggested a walk through a nearby park. The sunlight filtered through the trees, casting dappled shadows across the path. I could feel the weight of every eye, every judgment, every whisper. He reached for my hand again. I froze, torn between pulling away and allowing the warmth, the connection, the thrill. "You're irresistible," he whispered, eyes searching mine. I've never felt this way before. Shame, guilt, desire, and thrill collided inside me. The boy I had been wanted to flee, hide, resist. The girl Elena had shaped me into wanted to lean in, to feel, to be admired, to be her. That night, Elena guided me to the mirror, brushing my hair with deliberate care. "Look at her," she murmured. "The boy is fading. The girl is emerging. Do you feel it? Do you feel the power?" I stared at my reflection, tracing the curve of my cheek, the softness of my lips. I felt a strange mix of pride and sorrow, desire and guilt. I was becoming her, yet I wasn't sure if I wanted to fully let go of him, or if I could. A text arrived from him. "I can't stop thinking about you, about her. Meet me tomorrow? I need to see you." The morning sun streamed through my window, yet it offered no comfort. My chest felt tight, my legs shaky from anticipation and fear. Yesterday's encounters lingered in my mind. The boy's lingering glances, his words of admiration, and the dizzying mix of shame, pride, and desire I could no longer suppress. Elena appeared in the doorway, radiant and commanding. She held a sleek outfit, a short, emerald green dress with delicate lace sleeves, paired with elegant heels that made my legs look impossibly long. "Today," she said, her voice soft but authoritative, "we push further. You'll be seen. You'll be desired. And you will feel it, all of it." I swallowed hard. I don't know if I can," I whispered, voice trembling. "You can and you will," Elena said, stepping closer. Her hand brushed my cheek lightly, sending shivers down my spine. "You are becoming someone irresistible. You just have to let yourself be her." When we met him at the cafe, the air seemed to thicken. His eyes immediately found mine, lingering with warmth and admiration. My pulse quickened, legs wobbling in heels I was now growing accustomed to but still feared. Elena stood slightly behind me, her presence both protective and controlling, guiding my every movement. "You're beautiful," she whispered, almost cruelly. "He knows it. Let yourself be seen." We walked together to a quiet park. The sunlight filtered through the trees, and every passerby seemed to amplify my vulnerability. The boy reached for my hand, a casual, intimate gesture. My heart raced. Part of me wanted to pull away, retreat to the safety of my old self. Another part, the part Elena had nurtured, longed to stay, to feel, to be admired, to be her. "You're so different," he said softly, eyes fixed on mine. "I can't stop thinking about you, about her." My chest tightened, cheeks flushed. The shame, guilt, and desire collided violently inside me. Elena's earlier lessons echoed. "You are beautiful. You are desired. This is power." Later, Elena guided me back to the mirror at home. She brushed my hair with deliberate care, her fingers lingering against my neck and shoulders. "Look at her," she whispered. "The boy is fading. The girl is emerging. Do you feel it? Do you feel the power?" I stared at my reflection. The girl staring back was undeniably me. Soft lips, delicate jawline, the subtle curve of my body. I had become her. And yet, a part of me mourned the boy I had been. The girl I was becoming felt thrilling, intoxicating, but also terrifying. That night, alone, I received a message from him. "I need to see you again, her. Can we meet tomorrow?" My chest tightened. Excitement, fear, guilt, and desire swirled together in an impossible tangle. Elena's manipulative hold had brought me here, exposed, vulnerable, and craving the attention I had once feared. I realized I was waiting for his message, for his attention, for the affirmation I had once denied myself, but now craved. And Elena's shadow loomed over every thought, every heartbeat. The morning felt heavy, almost suffocating. My chest ached with anticipation, and a strange, nervous energy buzzed through my body. I had grown used to Elena's control, to the constant testing of my limits, but today felt different. Today, he would see me fully, not just the girl Elena wanted me to be, but the one I was slowly becoming. Elena appeared in the doorway, flawless as ever, holding a new outfit, a soft lavender dress that hugged my curves and flared gently at the hips. The heels she paired with it made my legs look impossibly long. "Today," she whispered, brushing a hand along my cheek, "you'll test your limits. You'll feel desire, attention, and embarrassment all at once. And you will embrace it." My stomach churned. I don't know if I can," I murmured, voice trembling. "You can," Elena said, firm but soothing. "You will. Trust me." When we met him at the cafe, the air seemed electric. His eyes immediately found mine, lingering with warmth, curiosity, and a subtle admiration that made my pulse race. Elena stayed behind, a silent observer, guiding me with the occasional touch, a hand on my waist, a lock of hair adjusted, posture corrected. "You're beautiful," she whispered. "Let him see it. Feel it." We walked to a nearby park, the sunlight filtering through the trees in gentle rays. The world around me blurred. All I could see was him. He smiled, reaching out to brush a stray hair from my face. My heart thundered, cheeks burning. My mind screamed to pull away, to flee, but my body betrayed me, trembling under his touch. "You're so different," he said softly. "I've never felt this way before. About anyone." The words cut through me. Shame, guilt, and desire collided violently inside me. The boy I had been wanted to hide, to retreat into safety. The girl Elena was shaping me into fragile, beautiful, exposed, wanted to lean in, to feel, to be seen. Later, we stopped on a crowded street. Whispers followed us, eyes lingered. My legs wobbled, my chest tightened. Elena's subtle guidance was everywhere, her hand resting lightly on my back, her presence both comforting and suffocating. She whispered, "You're learning. You're irresistible. Let the attention wash over you. Don't hide anymore." I wanted to resist, but I couldn't. Every approving glance, every whispered word, every fleeting touch left me trembling, consumed by a mix of humiliation and excitement. That evening, at home, Elena guided me to the mirror. She brushed my hair with deliberate care, her eyes scanning my reflection with satisfaction. "Look at her," she murmured. "The boy is fading. The girl is emerging. Do you feel it? Do you feel the power? The attention? The desire?" I stared at the reflection, the delicate jawline, soft lips, subtle curves, my body undeniably hers. And yet, a shadow of the boy I had been lingered, a memory I could not fully dismiss. A message appeared on my phone from him. I can't stop thinking about you, about her. Can we meet tomorrow? I need to see her again. The morning felt suffocating, heavy with anticipation. My chest throbbed, my stomach twisted, and a nervous energy surged through my body. Elena had planned today carefully, an outing where I would face not only him but the eyes of strangers, forced to perform the delicate dance of femininity she had been shaping in me. She appeared in the doorway, radiant, holding a striking outfit, a scarlet dress, tight at the waist, flaring softly at the hips, paired with heels that made my legs ache just imagining walking in them. "Today," she said, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear, "you will face the world. You will feel every gaze, every whisper, and you will survive it or crumble." I trembled. I don't know if I can," I whispered. "You can," she said, voice firm, commanding. "And you will. Trust yourself. Trust me." We met him at the bustling city square. His eyes widened as soon as he saw me, lingering with admiration, curiosity, and something dangerously intimate. My pulse spiked, legs wobbling in the unforgiving heels. Elena followed closely, subtle guidance in every step, hand on my back, posture corrected, hair adjusted. "You're beautiful," she whispered. "Let them see it. Let him see it. Feel it." As we walked through the crowded square, I became painfully aware of every gaze, every whispered word, every subtle judgment. My heart pounded. My cheeks burned. Every step felt like a test of endurance and courage. He reached for my hand casually, but I froze. The touch was electric, and my body betrayed me, trembling, aching, alive with shame and excitement. "You're so different," he murmured, voice low. "I've never felt this way about anyone." Shame, guilt, desire, all collided. The boy I had been screamed to flee. The girl Elena had shaped me into wanted to lean in, to be admired, to be her. By the afternoon, I was nearly collapsing under the weight of exposure. Elena guided me to a quiet bench, her hand on my shoulder steadying me. "You're doing wonderfully," she whispered. "But don't let fear take over. Embrace it. Every glance, every whisper, every word, they are yours to own." I wanted to resist, to hide, to disappear. But each approving glance, each word of admiration, each fleeting touch left me trembling, consumed by a strange, forbidden thrill. Back at home, Elena led me to the mirror. I undressed slowly, the reflection revealing the girl I had become. Soft lips, delicate curves, eyes bright with a storm of emotions swirling inside me. "The boy is fading," she murmured. "The girl is emerging. Do you feel it? The power? The desire? The attention?" I traced the curve of my cheek, the softness of my lips. Pride, shame, desire, guilt, they tangled violently inside me. I was becoming her, yet I mourned the boy I had been. Late at night, my phone buzzed again. His message appeared. "I need to see you, her again. Can we meet tomorrow? I can't stop thinking about you." The morning light felt heavier than usual, filtering through my curtains but failing to calm the storm inside me. My chest ached, my legs were sore from heels I was now used to but still feared, and my mind spun with anticipation and dread. Elena appeared at the doorway, holding a delicate outfit, a soft pink dress that clung to my curves, paired with matching heels that made my legs look impossibly long. "Today," she whispered, brushing her hand against my cheek, "you'll cross a line. You'll feel attention, desire, and embarrassment all at once. And you will survive it or break." I swallowed hard, trembling. I don't know if I can." "You can and you will," Elena said firmly. "Trust me. Trust yourself. You are becoming irresistible. You just have to let yourself be her." We met him at a quiet park, secluded enough to avoid the crowds, but still filled with the hum of life around us. The moment he saw me, his eyes widened, a mix of surprise, admiration, and something dangerously intimate. "You look amazing," he said softly. His smile was warm, genuine, and it made my pulse spike. I felt both exposed and alive. Elena stayed in the background, a silent observer, guiding with subtle touches, a hand on my waist, a lock of hair adjusted, posture corrected. Her presence was comforting and suffocating at once. We walked slowly along the winding paths, talking about trivial things at first, music, school, books, but soon the conversation shifted, becoming more personal. His gaze lingered on me longer, and I felt an undeniable flutter in my chest. Then it happened. He reached out and brushed a strand of hair behind my ear. My body shivered. My cheeks burned. My heart raced. Shame screamed inside me, urging me to pull away. But another part, the girl Elena had shaped me into, longed to stay, to feel, to be admired, to be her. "You're so different," he whispered. "I've never felt this way about anyone before." By late afternoon, I felt my composure cracking. Elena had taught me how to walk, talk, and present myself, but the intimacy, the brush of his fingers, the soft tone of his voice, the way he looked at me, was overwhelming. My reflection in his eyes conflicted with the boy I remembered. "You're doing wonderfully," Elena whispered, appearing quietly beside me. "But don't let fear take over. Embrace it. Every glance, every word, every touch, they are yours to own." I wanted to resist, yet I could not. Each smile, each fleeting touch, each approving look left me trembling, caught between shame and an impossible, thrilling desire. Back at home, Elena guided me to the mirror. I undressed slowly, tracing the curves of my body, the softness of my lips, the reflection of the girl I had become. "The boy is fading," she murmured. "The girl is emerging. Do you feel it? The attention? The desire? The power?" I stared at my reflection. Pride, shame, guilt, and desire clashed violently inside me. I was becoming her, and I could feel the boy I had been slipping away, fading with every passing day, every encounter, every whispered compliment. My phone buzzed late at night. A message from him appeared. "I can't stop thinking about you." About her. "Meet me tomorrow?" The morning air was crisp, and every step toward the city square felt like walking on glass. My legs ached from heels, my chest tightened, and my pulse raced in anticipation of today's challenge. Elena stood at the doorway, radiant as always, holding a new outfit, a sky-blue dress that hugged my curves gracefully, paired with heels that made my legs feel both elegant and painfully exposed. "Today," she whispered, brushing a strand of hair from my face, "you'll be seen. Every eye, every glance, every whisper, they're yours to command, or to fear." I swallowed hard, trembling. I don't know if I can," I admitted. "You can and you will," she said firmly. "Trust me. Trust yourself. You are becoming someone irresistible. You just have to let yourself be her." When we arrived, the city square was alive with activity. The boy was already there, waiting, his eyes lighting up when he saw me. My stomach flipped violently. His gaze lingered, warm and admiring, and I felt an unfamiliar thrill course through me. Elena followed subtly behind, guiding me, her hand occasionally resting on my shoulder to steady me, her eyes gleaming with quiet satisfaction. "You're beautiful," she whispered. "Let them see it. Let him see it. Feel it." We walked through the square together. Every glance from passers-by, every whisper, every subtle reaction made me painfully aware of my exposed femininity. My heart raced. My cheeks burned. Each step was a test of courage, of composure, of identity. He reached for my hand, casual but intimate. I froze, heart hammering. Shame screamed to retreat, but the girl Elena had shaped me into, soft, delicate, undeniably herself, wanted to stay, to be admired, to feel desire. "You're so different," he murmured. "I've never felt this way about anyone before." Later, he leaned closer, voice low. "I can't stop thinking about you." About her. My chest tightened. Shame, guilt, desire, and thrill collided violently. The boy I had been wanted to flee, hide, retreat. The girl Elena was shaping me into wanted to lean in, to be seen, to be desired, to be her. Elena's voice echoed in my mind. You are beautiful. You're desired. This is power. Back at home, Elena led me to the mirror. Slowly, I undressed, tracing my curves, lips, and cheeks. The reflection revealed the girl I had become, soft, delicate, and beautiful. The boy I had been was fading, a distant memory. You see? Elena whispered. The boy is gone. The girl is emerging. Do you feel it? The attention? The desire? The power? I traced my reflection with trembling fingers. Pride, shame, guilt, and longing tangled inside me. I was becoming her, and each encounter, each compliment, each glance pushed me further from the boy I had been. That night, a new message appeared from him. I need to see you again, her. Can we meet tomorrow? I can't stop thinking about you. The morning light poured through my window, but it felt heavier than usual, almost suffocating. My chest tightened, my legs ached from heels, and my reflection in the mirror stared back at me with an intensity one couldn't escape. The girl I had become, soft lips, delicate curves, eyes full of uncertain emotion, looked undeniably real. The boy I had once been was fading, like a memory slipping through my fingers. Elena appeared at the doorway, radiant, holding a final outfit, a sleek, midnight blue dress that clung perfectly to my curves, paired with impossibly high heels. Her eyes gleamed with pride and something darker, ownership. Today, she whispered, brushing a strand of hair from my cheek, you face your ultimate choice. Will you embrace her completely, or retreat into the boy you once were? I swallowed hard, trembling. I don't know if I can. You can, Elena said firmly. You've come this far. The boy is fading. The girl is ready. The world is watching. All that's left is your decision. We met him in a quiet, sun-dappled park, yet the space between us felt charged with anticipation. The moment he saw me, his eyes widened, filled with warmth, admiration, and a dangerous intensity. My pulse spiked. Every glance, every smile, every subtle movement reminded me of how far I had come. You're so beautiful, he said softly, reaching out to brush a lock of hair from my face. My body trembled. Shame, guilt, and desire collided violently. I wanted to pull away, to hide, but another part of me, the girl Elena had carefully shaped, leaned in, craving the attention, the admiration, the thrill. Throughout the afternoon, we walked through the city, passing crowds who stared, whispered, and admired. Elena followed subtly behind, her presence guiding, controlling, yet protective. Every step I took, every glance I received, every touch of his hand, pushed me further from the boy I had been and deeper into the girl I was becoming. You're doing wonderfully, Elena whispered. Embrace it. Every glance, every word, every touch, they are yours to own. The world sees her.
Do you?
I froze before a large mirror in a store window. The reflection staring back was undeniable. A girl, soft, delicate, beautiful. My chest tightened. The boy I had been seemed so far away, almost unreal. Pride, shame, desire, and fear tangled together in a storm I could neither control nor resist. That evening, back at Elena's apartment, she guided me in front of a full-length mirror. Slowly, deliberately, I undressed, tracing my body, my lips, my cheeks. You see her now, Elena whispered, her hand brushing lightly against my shoulder. The boy is gone. The girl is emerging fully. Do you feel it? The attention? The desire? The power? I looked at my reflection, tears pricking my eyes. Pride, shame, longing, and exhilaration collided. I realized I was no longer just playing a role. I had become her. The final test came when the boy reached out to me again. I can't stop thinking about you, about her, he said softly, eyes searching mine. My chest tightened. For a moment, I considered retreating, reclaiming the boy I had been. But the reflection in the mirror, Elena's proud gaze, and the thrill coursing through me told a different story. I smiled softly, stepping closer. Then see her, all of her, I whispered, my voice calm, melodic, undeniably feminine. Elena watched silently, a subtle, triumphant smile on her face. The girl I had become was no longer fragile, uncertain, or hesitant. She was confident, aware, and undeniably beautiful. The boy I had once been was a fading memory. Full acceptance, the protagonist embraces the new feminine identity completely, stepping into a life of beauty, confidence, and attention. Bittersweet resolution. Though the boy is gone, the transformation brings a new sense of empowerment, desire, and identity. The final scene leaves the viewer with a lingering sense of awe, tension, and emotional resolution, perfect for cinematic storytelling. The days that followed were surreal. I woke each morning to the reflection of a girl I no longer recognized, yet couldn't imagine being without. The boy I had been lingered only as a whisper in my mind, a memory fading with every glance, every step, every word of affirmation. Elena's control remained subtle but undeniable. She would watch me dress, adjust my posture, critique my makeup, and smile approvingly when I passed her tests. At first, it felt like imprisonment. Then, strangely, it began to feel like home. He continued to reach out, sending messages tinged with curiosity, desire, and genuine affection. Every time I saw him, my heart raced, a cocktail of shame, longing, and thrill making my knees weak. I realized that I craved these interactions, not just for his attention, but for the validation of the girl I had become. Elena insisted on taking me to crowded public spaces, testing my poise, my confidence, and my endurance. Malls, cafes, and even a small boutique became arenas where I had to present myself perfectly. Every glance, every whisper from strangers reminded me that I was no longer the boy who could hide, who could blend into the crowd. "You're irresistible," Elena whispered as we walked through a bustling street. "Own it. Every look, every word, they're yours." And slowly I did. I learned to walk with my head high, to smile when complimented, to hold myself with the grace Elena demanded. The thrill of attention became addictive, even intoxicating. At home, the mirror became both friend and tormentor. I would spend hours examining every curve, every contour, every inch of the girl I had become. "Look at her," Elena would whisper, standing behind me. "You're not just beautiful, you're perfect, and she is the real you now." I often caught myself tracing my lips, running my hands over my arms, marveling at how soft and delicate I felt. Pride mixed with guilt, desire mixed with shame. Each reflection reminded me that I had been reshaped completely, yet the old me still whispered, just faintly from the shadows. The boy, now more like a constant presence in my life than a friend, became entangled in a confusing web of attraction and curiosity. Every touch, every compliment, every lingering glance reminded me that the girl Elena had created was desirable, irresistible. And yet, a part of me still ached for the boy I had been. I wondered if I could ever truly escape Elena's grip, or if I even wanted to. The thrill of attention, the power of beauty, the pleasure of being called pretty or beautiful, these were intoxicating beyond control. One evening, alone with Elena, I faced the truth. The girl I had become was not a disguise. She was real. My reflection, my posture, my voice, my desires, they all aligned with the person I had grown into under Elena's guidance. "You see," Elena whispered, brushing a lock of hair behind my ear. "You're no longer the boy. You're her. And she is perfect." Tears pricked my eyes, but they were not just tears of sadness. They were a mixture of relief, acceptance, and a strange, forbidden pride. I had been broken, reshaped, and now I was whole in a way I never could have imagined. Elena decided it was time for a new challenge, attending a high-end fashion event downtown. The crowd was vast, full of judgmental eyes, cameras, and whispers. Every step I took in my heels was measured, every smile practiced. "You're not just a girl," Elena whispered, adjusting my hair. Your presence. Make them notice you. He watched me from across the room, eyes wide with admiration and desire. Each compliment, each glance, reinforced the girl I had become. I felt power, vulnerability, and a strange thrill in being noticed by strangers while under Elena's watchful gaze. A week later, Elena orchestrated a meeting in a crowded cafe. The boy sat near me, attempting casual conversation, yet every word carried a subtle tension. You've changed, he admitted, his eyes scanning me from head to toe. I can't stop thinking about you. I felt a shiver run down my spine. The thrill of attention, the hum of desire, and the weight of my transformation collided. Elena's eyes met mine over his shoulder, a silent reminder. You are hers. You are beautiful. You are irresistible. Late at night, alone in my room, I faced the mirror. Elena's lessons echoed in my mind. Every curve, every gesture, every glance I had mastered. I feel like I'm losing him, I whispered to myself, tracing the softness of my lips. But I can't go back. Not now. The reflection staring back was undeniable. A girl, confident, delicate, and beautiful. Pride and guilt waged a war inside me. Elena's influence was permanent. The boy I had been was fading fast, replaced by the girl I was learning to love and fear. One day, as I walked through a busy mall, someone from my past recognized me. The shock in their eyes made my heart skip. I felt my cheeks burn as whispers followed us. Elena, I muttered later, trembling. What if they tell someone? Let them see her, Elena replied calmly. The world is your stage, and she commands attention. The humiliation, the thrill, the exposure, it was intoxicating. I realized I no longer feared being seen. I craved it. By this point, my life had changed completely. I navigated between the boy I had been and the girl I had become, though the line between them blurred daily. The boy's lingering presence, the male attention, and Elena's controlling guidance created a storm of emotions inside me: excitement, guilt, desire, shame, and power. Late at night, Elena watched me carefully. You've come so far, she whispered. Do you accept her fully? Or will you try to run back? I stared at my reflection, tears pricking my eyes. Pride, shame, desire, and longing collided. Finally, I whispered softly, I am her. I am ready. Elena's smile was triumphant, yet tender. She had broken me, reshaped me, and now the girl I had become was unstoppable, confident, and undeniably hers. Elena decided it was time for me to experience the world without her direct guidance. She dressed me in a figure-hugging black dress and whispered, Tonight, you're on your own. Trust yourself. Trust her. The city streets were alive with neon lights and curious eyes. Every glance felt like a test. My heels clicked against the pavement as I navigated the crowd, heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. For the first time, I felt what it truly meant to be her, admired, desired, and undeniably visible. At a trendy cafe, I caught the eye of a charming young man. His interest was immediate, intense. Every smile and compliment sent shivers down my spine. You're stunning, he said softly. I can't look away. Shame and excitement collided inside me. The thrill of attention, once terrifying, now felt intoxicating. Elena's voice echoed in my mind. You are hers. You are beautiful. You are irresistible. Back at home, I faced the mirror. The girl staring back at me was no longer hesitant or uncertain. She was confident, alluring, and fully in control of her femininity. I ran my hands over my curves, felt the softness of my lips, and marveled at the reflection. Elena appeared silently behind me, her eyes glinting with satisfaction. Do you feel it? She asked. Do you understand now? She is you. She is unstoppable. Tears ran down my cheeks, a mixture of pride, shame, and exhilaration. I was hers, reshaped, reborn, and undeniably beautiful. The male friend I had grown close to noticed the transformation in its entirety. He approached carefully, eyes wide with admiration and disbelief. I barely recognize you, he admitted. But I'm drawn to her. My chest tightened. The thrill of being desired, the power of my appearance, and the intoxicating feeling of control collided. I realized that I could never go back. The boy I had been was gone. The girl I had become was real, powerful, and fully alive. Finally, alone with Elena, I faced my reflection one last time. The mirror showed not just a girl, but her. Confident, beautiful, and fully formed. You see? Elena whispered. The boy is gone. She is here. And she is yours to be. I took a deep breath, feeling every curve, every movement, every glance I had mastered. Pride, desire, and acceptance washed over me. I whispered softly. I am her. Fully. Completely. Elena smiled, triumphant but tender. And now the world will see her, as I always knew they would. The story closed on a cinematic note. The girl stepping out into the city, fully accepted, fully alive, and ready to face the world as she truly was.